Hey, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. This is Dr. Durr. I'd like to welcome you back to the Wake Up YASHAR'AL channel. All praise to the Most High Yahuwah, from whom all Baruch and benefits flow. I bless his name. I praise his name. I esteem his name. I honor his name. He deserves the honor, the esteem, and the praise due his righteous and set-apart name. Thank the Most High Yahuwah for his son, Yahusha, who died for the sins of YASHAR'AL. Thank the Most High for his Ruach HaKodesh, the one who leads and guides us into all truth, directs us and seals us unto the day of redemption. There's a lesson today that I'm going to teach to you. The topic is the serpent seed versus Yahuwah's seed. Remember, this is an all-out warfare between what we call good and evil. Yes, there is good, and yes, there is evil, and the Most High is the orchestrator of them both. The scripture says so. You have to understand the warfare is laid out, and that is done because Yahuwah has a plan to bring us into our redemptive place, into our deliverance place. So Yah permits things to take place like he did even with Pharaoh. He made Pharaoh to get his glory, to get his honor. He made that situation happen. Even when the young man was blind and they came to him for deliverance, and Yahusha said, no, this blindness wasn't done because somebody did evil in the family. It was done to the man because it's going to bring me esteem and reverence. So we are in a warfare. There is a serpent seed, and there is Yahuwah's seed himself. He has a seed, his people. And Lucifer has his own seed. We call it the serpent seed. You're going to see why. Because he is called the serpent. So we're getting ready to get into this lesson today. Hold on, stand still, and just see the salvation of Yah. Let's go. The title, The Serpent Seed versus Yahuwah's Seed. Bere'Shhyith, Genesis 3, 7 through 15. And the eyes of them both were open, Adam and Eve, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of Yahuwah Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and the man and his woman hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah Elohim among the trees of the garden. And Yahuwah Elohim called unto Adam and said unto him, where are you? Why did he go to Adam first? Because Adam is the head. 10th verse. And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. 11th verse. And he said, who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree whereof I commanded you that you should not eat? 12th verse. And the man said, the woman whom you gave me to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. Here's a quick note. Adam nor Eve put up any resistance at all. Yahuwah told them both to subdue anything that got out of place or out of order. Adam, being the head, should have taken charge. Let's go on. The definition for subdue, to break it down for you, subdue in the set-apart scriptures mean kabash, which means to bring something or someone under control, often with the connotation of conquering or bringing into subjection. Adam and Eve were both given instructions on how to deal with anything that got out of line. Adam, being the head, should have taken charge when the woman offered him the forbidden fruit. But he didn't, but he partook of that fruit. The 13th verse. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto the woman, what is this that you have done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. You notice the blame kept passing on. Adam said the woman said the serpent. Now let's go to the 14th verse. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon your belly shall you go, and thus you shall eat all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. It shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise its heel. Let me read that 15th verse again. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed. Remember the serpent seed? And her seed, Yahuwah's seed. It shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. What was the Most High Yahuwah talking about? What was going on? What was the Most High Yahuwah speaking to the serpent about what was going to happen to him and Eve's seed? He said he was going to put enmity between the seed of the serpent and the seed of the woman. This is what we call a future prophecy concerning the Mashiach, Yahusha, the Messiah, and Hasatan, Lucifer, and his seed, how there was going to be a great warfare between Yah's seed and Lucifer's seed, an ongoing warfare up until the very end. This prophecy's deeper meaning and fulfillment extend to the ongoing spiritual warfare. It's a warfare between Yahuwah and Satan, culminating in Mashiach's victory over evil. Yahuwah told the serpent, I will put opposition and division between your seed and her seed. Let's find out what the word enmity means. Enmity signifies deep-seated hostility, opposition, and hatred. What you see, Lucifer's seed hates Yahuwah's seed. Yahuwah's seed despise and oppose Satan's seed. So enmity means deep-seated hostility, opposition, or hatred, often describing a state of conflict and animosity between individuals or groups. It can also represent a state of being actively opposed to the Most High Yahuwah in his ways. What do you see today? You see those that hate your Hebrew Israelites without a cause. Those people are the seeds of the serpent and Lucifer's offspring. Keep this at the forefront of your mind. Lucifer does have offspring, but so does the Most High. The Most High Yahuwah didn't come to save everyone, only the children of Israel. According to Isaiah 14, many foreigners will be a part of the kingdom, but only in the servant's capacity. They will worship, praise, and esteem the Most High Yahuwah, and also follow his Torah according to the book of Revelation. As we go, they gonna go. The ones that want to follow. I'm getting ready to do a 3-part series that's going to be very deep. It's going to be very powerful. It's going to be line up on line, precept on precept. It's dealing with John 3:16. Many may unsubscribe. Many may never come back. Many may call me off, call me all kind of names, call me a cult teacher. But you can't fight the scriptures. If you fight the scriptures, yeah, you're a part of Lucifer's seed. I'm going to call it like it is. You're a part of that satanic seed. Because when you go line up on line, precept on precept, not twisting the scriptures, but showing you, explaining to you, giving you insight and revelation and clarity, and you still oppose it, you are part of Lucifer's seed. Because he that hears Yah's word can hear us. That's what the scripture said. If they hear us, if they hear Yahuwah's word and they hear us, then they hear Yahuwah speak. If you can hear us, you can hear Yahuwah speak to us. You know the person that's when they wrong and when they off, when they give you line up on line, precept on precept. How are you opposing it? How are you fighting that? Because you cannot hear the truth. You are of your father, the devil. Hasatan, the Bible said it. And he's a liar from the beginning. That's the only throne he got is a throne of lies. So that's where many of us at today, many of us believe this truth. We were awakened. Yah came to us like he came to the disciples and told us, pick up your stake and come follow me. And we did. We just jumped to it. Some of you, Yah's coming to you and you're opposing Yah and his word. He's showing you everything you need to see. You still don't want it. But I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what I'm talking about. How Yah came to save YASHAR'AL only. I'm going to give you a few scriptures here. I'm not going into deep detail to show you line up on line, precept on precept, the serpent seed and Yahuwah's seed. Yah didn't come to save everybody. Who was Yahuwah sending his son to die for? Yahuwah sent his son to save his people from their sins. And it reads, Matthew 1:21, and she shall bring forth a son. Remember we talked about there's going to be a division between, an enmity between Hasatan, the Lucifer seed, the serpent seed, and Yah seed. Well, let's go to the 21st verse again. Matthew 1:21. And she shall bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Yahusha. Yahusha means Yahuwah is salvation, because salvation is of the Most High Yahuwah. For he shall save his people from their sins. His people. Catch that. The heathens never had a true Elohim. They always served idols. They never had a true Elohim, never wanted to serve the true Elohim. So here it is, Yah showing you, Matthew 1:21, and she shall bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Yahusha, for he shall save his people from their sins. Matthew 1:22, now all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of Yah by his prophet, saying, Matthew 1:23, behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted, Il is with us. Also, let me show you another one. The disciples were sent to the lost sheep of YASHAR'AL, not the whole world. Here it is. Sent to Matthew 10:5-7. It says, these 12 Yahusha sent forth to his disciples and commanded them, saying, go not in the way of other nations. Stop right there. Y'all need to wake up and hear what this word is saying. Rightly dividing the word of truth is right there in your face. Don't fight it. Don't resist it. Accept it and go on. Wake up to the truth. We've been lied to. 5th verse, these 12 Yahusha sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not in the way of the other nations. Don't go that way. And into any city of Samaria, either enter ye not in, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of YASHAR'AL. And as you go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. There it is right there. Line upon lines, precept on precept, showing you that Yahusha was sent to die for the sins of YASHAR'AL, die for the sins of his people. He was sent by the Almighty Yah, because Yahusha means Yahuwah is salvation. Let Yah be true and every man a liar. Saints always knew that spiritual warfare was more than surface warfare. For example, let's say someone's struggling over sexual sins. That's an ongoing warfare. The flesh actively opposing your spirit man, and the spirit man opposing the flesh. Many claim they can't overcome some of these vices, but I beg to differ. The Most High says that he has given us power over all the power of the enemy. Nothing and no thing shall by enemies hurt us. These next verses shut down every excuse as to why one can't have victory in every area of their lives. Galatians 5:16-20. This I say then, walk in the Ruach, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Now, why would y'all put that in his word if you can't do it? Many people keep using excuses why they can't do this. Some think different. No, fix your mind. Get into the word. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And we had to escape the same thing you had to escape. The deal is we applied ourselves to the scripture. We applied ourselves and actively walking out these scriptures. You can do the same thing. The deal is most of our people are lazy and they want to keep using excuses why they stand in sin. I've had people tell me it's a sexual addiction. Ain't no addiction. You in sin. You fornicating. You committing adultery. You're lying. You're cheating and you're stealing. That's what we have done. All of us have been there before. We have sinned. And so you can't make no excuses to those of us that have been through it. And we overcame it. And we overcome it. You can overcome it. He didn't have no, well, I'm going to give one more than the other. If somebody asks me 15 times, I give it to them. If you only ask me 12, I won't give it to you. No, the devil is a liar. You come to him with a humble, broken heart and a contrite spirit. Yah said he will not despise. You got to go to Yah and ask Yah for what you want. And he will give you your breakthrough and your deliverance. Let me read it again. Galatians 5. This I say then, walk in the Ruach, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. That means you won't have to sin. For the flesh lusts against the Ruach, and the Ruach against the flesh. And these are contrary to one to other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. But if you be led of the Ruach, you are not under the law. Not the rejection of the complete Torah, that's not what it's talking about, but bound by rituals that can't bring deliverance, daily victory, and deliverance. It's about the different ritualistic parts that people were trying to keep to get delivered. That's why Yahusha was offered once and for all, dying for the sins of Yahshua. He was offered once as the ultimate sacrifice, that you'll have no more excuse. He said, shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Yah forbid. Too many scriptures. Now the works of the flesh are these. Now look what the works of the flesh are. So when people dealing with this stuff, they talking about, I got an addiction, I got this. No, these are the works of the flesh. What are the works of the flesh? I told you he was going to put enmity between Yahuwah's seed and Hasatan, or Lucifer's seed, the serpent seed. Now the works of the flesh are these, which are manifest: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, no strengths, no holds barred. You can't help but do what you do. You just loose with it. Idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, immolation, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such of the like, of the which I tell you before, as I have told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yah. Isn't that self-explanatory? Isn't that plain? If you do those things that are catering to the flesh, you're not going to enter into the kingdom. So you ain't got no excuse. Somebody that's an addiction. You just want to stay there. That sin nature is overwhelming your spirit nature. And you don't want to adhere to what the scripture is saying. So you want to live there and make excuses while you're bound by it. No, you're bound by it because you want to be bound by it. I'm telling you, look, I don't have any excuses. You don't have any excuses. Y'all don't give me one. He's not going to give you one. Can we all fall short of the glory and the esteem of Yah? Yes, we can. We all can sin. We all can mess up. For the scripture said, the soul that say he has not sinned is a liar, and the truth is not in him. Every one of us can fall into sin. Every one of us can mess up, but you got to get up out of sin. King David sinned, but he had to get up out of sin. Solomon sinned, but he got up out of sin. Don't tell me you can't get out. You can get out of it. You don't get out of it because you want to stay stuck. You like what you're doing. No, the scripture just told you, they that which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom. But the fruit of the Ruach, he said this is what's going to happen when you start doing it Yah's way. But the fruit of the Ruach, you got love, you got joy, you got peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law put in place. And they that are Yahusha HaMashiach have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the Ruach, let us also walk in the Ruach. I had to go that route because it's showing you the difference between Yah's people and the seed of the serpent. The seed of the serpent people going to do the sin things. The seed of Yahuwah going to do Yahuwah's thing, walking in the spirit. The fruit of the spirit. Hasatan seed, the serpent seed, are going to do the things of the flesh. There it is right there. Flesh, you can tell the difference. Flesh is serpent seed. Fruit of the spirit is Yahuwah's seed. Are you seeing that? It's right there plainly in our face. Now we're going to go on down a little bit further here and get back into this set apart scripture dealing with Genesis 3:15 again. Now we're going to break it down a little bit more. I'm not going to stay long on these. I'm just going to show you that it's in the word. Everything you need to know is in the scripture, line upon line, precept on precept. Back to Genesis 3:15, Yahuwah is speaking to the serpent, but the prophecy is ultimately about Satan. The serpent is the physical manifestation or instrument to which Satan tempts Eve. The seed of the serpent refers to Satan's followers, are those aligned with his evil influence, while the seed of the woman refers to Yahusha HaMashiach, potentially his followers. Look throughout the earth today, look throughout the world. You can see the manifestation of the serpent's seed in an all-out warfare against Yahuwah's seed. The lies that are put out about the set-apart scriptures, the lies that are put out about Yah's people, got people in Yah's people place, got the twisted the scripture up. They got all type of food that they're giving us that's not food. They got all type of stuff they mixing up in the food. They do using biological warfare in the food. They're using bioengineered products. They're using DNA of human in some meats. They got the right amount of animals. They just don't want to give it to you. They're going to eat that. They're going to give you the junk. They want you to get hooked on that cannibalism stuff. We are dealing with an all-out wicked people that want to shoot stuff in your system to change your DNA. We're dealing with the serpent seed. This serpent seed is crazy. This is Lucifer's seed. You notice it's been an escalation because of the awakening. This awakening is bringing a lot of stuff out. So let's go on a little further. Here's a breakdown. The serpent, in Genesis 3, the serpent is the creature that tempts Eve, but the text also implies a deeper spiritual entity at work, which is identified as Satan in the biblical text. Yahuwah's word pronouncement after the fall are directed at the serpent, but the consequences and implications of these words extends to Satan as the instigator. He is the one started it. He came at Eve. Yes, Eve partook. Eve didn't do her part. Adam didn't do his part. But Satan is the one that Yah is after because he brought contamination to the Garden of Eden. And Yah had to deal with him. And so Yah is showing you that this same spirit is running throughout the land today. The lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is still running rampant. I'm going to prove it to you. When Yahusha was in the wilderness being tested in Matthew 4, what happened? The lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life came after him. Guess what's happening to us in this land, the people of Yah? The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. The same spirit, the same serpent is spitting out the same satanic, vile wickedness to all the people of Yah, trying to get us to fall for his same tactics that he employed on Adam and Eve in the garden. Still using the same tactics. But we cannot allow ourselves to be tricked and caught up in it because we are not ignorant to Hasatan's devices. The prophecy, Genesis 3:15, about the enmity and the bruising of the head is a foreshadowing of the ultimate conflict between good and evil, with Yahusha Mashiach defeating Satan through his sacrifice and resurrection. The seed of the woman is understood as referring to Yahusha Mashiach, who will be born of a woman and would ultimately defeat Satan. But notice what I told you in Matthew 1:21. He was born to take away the sins of his people. If you go to 1 John over there, it talks about 1 John 3, it talks about why he was manifested. Yahusha was manifested to destroy the works of Hasatan. That's why he was manifested, to destroy the works of the devil. So the seed of the woman is understood as referring to Yahusha Mashiach, who will be born of a woman and would ultimately defeat Satan. The seed of the serpent is understood as referring to Satan's followers, those who oppose the Most High Yahuwah and his plan. So Yah is letting you know, I'm going to deal with this serpent seed, and I'm going to deal with the serpent, and he's going to get dealt with. Because in the end, the scripture said that Satan and the beast and the false prophet and all those wicked people that are his seed are going to be cast in the lake of fire with hell, with fire and brimstone. He's getting rid of all of them. Genesis 3 describes a literal serpent speaking to and tempting Eve. The phrase, your seed, and the prophecy about the bruised head and heel suggests a deeper spiritual conflict, as I just stated. If you go down later on in the scriptures, in Genesis, we know the serpent, talking about the serpent, how he beguiled Eve, identified the serpent of Genesis as the devil, also known as Satan. Revelation 12:9 and Revelation 20:2 refers to Satan as the ancient serpent. Let's go there right quick. I'm going to read to you 12:9 and 20:2. It said, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, was deceived the whole world. He was cast out of the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. But I like that 11 verse that says, but they, us, overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of our testimonies, and they loved not their life unto death. Now we go to Revelations 20, verses 1 and 2. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the keys of the bottomless pit and great chains in his hand. And he laid hold of the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So we showed you that that seed, that serpent seed, is alive and doing well, and Hasatan himself is called the serpent. As you can see, all of this opposition happening more prevalent now than ever before. The righteous seed versus the wicked seed will always oppose one another. Saints, we have to make our stand. You either live for Yah or live for the world. You can't serve two masters. You either going to love one and you're going to either hate the other one. So make up your mind to serve the Most High Yahuwah with everything you got. This awakening is bringing every wicked deed, every wicked agenda, every wicked scheme and ritual and practices to the forefront. All we need to do in this hour is trust Yahuwah with all of our heart and lean not to our own understanding. In all our ways acknowledge him. He said he will direct our path. We got to trust him through it all and turn all of our enemies over to him, because we win in the end. Continue to stand still, saints, and see the salvation of Yah. We are Yahuwah's seed. Shalom.